And following with the vocabulary in Ahlan wa Sahlan, letters and sounds, still the literacy book from the previous 121 or 101 class, you have Masa al Khair. Masa is evening, and then al Khair is the goodness. And the traditional response is Masa al Nur. You can replace الخير or النور by الورد or which is roses or العسل which is honey or الجمال or الجمال in pronounced in the dialect which means the beauty. You can name the flowers by their type. You can say الياسمين الفل. There are lots of other صباح القشطة, even القشطة. قشطة is cream, so it would be and vocalized, the qa would be vocalized as an a in the dialect. It ends up being مساء القشطة. So you can replace these by any positive thought. It can be التفاؤل, which is optimism, any positive or cheerful note. However, the only thing that you cannot do is you cannot start by مساء النور. If you are going to use the traditional ones, you need to start them in order. So you need to start by saying مساء الخير, and then the answer would be مساء النور, or they have the choice of answering with anything that they want. They can say مساء النور, or they can pick any of the other choices that I stated. The only thing that you cannot do would be to start with مساء النور. Because it just confuses people. But I mean, it's not a hard rule, but it is not preferred. Let me put it that way. مع السلامة. مع السلامة is with the safety, and this is the more commonly used way of saying goodbye. It's more common than إلى اللقاء, which is till I see you again. So إلى اللقاء tends to be more formal. مع السلامة can be formal and can be in conversation, kind of like casual formal. It can work as formal and it can be casual as well. So مع السلامة is commonly used where إلى اللقاء till we see each other next. This is more formal. وعليكم السلام. وعليكم السلام is the response to السلام عليكم. And then the book has this lovely calligraphy that is بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So B is using, and the alif hamza for ism, the alif for ism is dropped, so it ends up بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن is and الرحيم are two adjectives that is used to glorify God, and the fact that they have a definite article in front of them, it makes them the compassionate and the most merciful. And when they have the alif lam, they are only used to describe God. So even if the word God was not there, but you see these adjectives with the alif lam, this means that they are referring to a God. So moving along now, we have this is still your letters and sounds. So أنت نضار لا أنا أديب. So instead of using an interrogative or حروف الاستفهام, which is question words, so they are just changing their voice to make it sound like a question. So this would be, are you Mark? Are you Steve? لا, which is no. أنا أديب. So I will do the dialects when we go to the final vocabulary list. So, inti hala, the same but addressing a female, and she says na'am, which is the formal. And here we have ma ismuka and ma ismuki. So, ism and then the U for the case and Ka for a male and a Ki for a female. So ما اسمك and ما is the interrogative for what? ما اسمك اسمي ما اسمك اسمي خالد اسمي نجوى ما اسمك and it goes back and forth. So this is using a question word ما, which is what, and this is without. So you can do it either way, and both of them are fine. Uh, but if you use ما, then you do not need a verb for to say what is, because is not used the same way in as in English. You do not need it for those structures. So ismi Khalid, this means my name is. You don't need is in the response. You don't need it in the question. ما ما. السلام عليكم ما اسمك ما اسمك تشرفنا إلى اللقاء. So this is a simple dialogue, and then we have the separate personal pronouns in the singular. أنا أنت أنت هو هي. أنا أنت أنت هو هي. These are basic. You need those. These are indispensable. No matter if you're using formal, classic, dialect, these are the ones commonly used, and they don't vary a lot. What they would vary, it would be like a slight inflection, and the spelling is the same, everything is the same. And then we have, so every other letter is a two-way connector, except the 6 letters that we said only connect to the letter before them, but not after. And if the letter before them does not connect, is one of these one-way connectors, then it wouldn't connect with it either. And again, this is a review of the letters and how they are written. And if you need a review of how to write the letters, you can watch the writing videos that I shared with you previously, or again, use the Byte Size Arabic website. And here are the audio files for the book. You can go unit by unit, press on the letters.
حاء
It will pronounce the
جبن
words for you, give you practice words,
دجاج
and that would be a helpful resource if you have lost your access to the letters and sounds book and you have no access to the audio files. So that can be an alternative, and under that will review the sounds. And here in under writing, you have here is the free writing workbook. This one will we'll go chapter by chapter and review how to write the letters in the beginning or at the end, and you have an answer key at the end, and you have even like some drills on how to pronounce words or make expressions on your own. It's a very valuable resource. This video is only to make an overview of the previous quarter, just in case you forgot about the sounds, about the general rules, so that you are not at loss when we actually start your curriculum. So this is my lovely cat. This is one of them. واسمه لوي. هو لوي. 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 واسمه لوي. So لوي يحب اللغة العربية. So he likes Arabic too. So we have متحف. متحف. ميم تاء حاء فاء صار. ألف مد. It makes it longer. صار. صار. البتراء. البتراء. البتراء is a famous city in Jordan, الأردن. So, and here is more writing, some letters. Okay. And again, if you need a review of the writing, then please reach out to me or review the resources that I have shared with you previously. So this is the long and short vowels. And don't be discouraged if even at level 3, while spelling words, you get them wrong. It is very common challenge for learner of Arabics, but it will get better. The more that you know when is the alif used, and once we discuss the scales and pattern of words, you will understand that the alif repeats in certain locations, the wow repeat in certain locations, and the ya the same way. And for the other, and for the verb conjugation, when is it a short vowel or when is it a long vowel, the rules repeat. So even if you don't get the difference in sound right now, you will ultimately get when is a long vowel needed, because as you write more Arabic and as you learn more verbs and as you conjugate them, you will know that in this position you need an actual ya and not a kasra. So a quick review. The حروف المد, okay, حروف المد are actual letters. So like the, and it is the alif, and then the wow, and then the ya, which is e, e. The short vowels are just a subtle variation to the sound of any letter, including the vowels when they act like a consonant. Remember, we said that the wow can be either a W or a U, and the ya can be either Y or double E or the sound E. And then alif, when you have a hamza on it, then it becomes a consonant. It becomes a. So this a can be a, u, e, a, u, e, a, u, e. And then the wow, when it acts as a W, then it would be wa, wu, we, wa, wu, we. And then the ya, when it is a Y and not a vowel, then it would take a short vowel and it would become ya, you, ye, ya, you, ye. The consonants a and u and e can have a long vowel either before or after them. So let's take the example of yeah, for example. So instead of saying yeah, yeah is a yeah with a fatha, but then I can have a yeah with a fatha and then a long vowel alif after that. So it would be yeah, yeah, yeah. And as a general rule in Arabic, any long vowel in a word, the letter that precedes that long vowel has the short vowel that matches it. So if you have an alif in the middle of a word, the short vowel of the letter that precedes the alif is a fatha. If you have a ya, the short vowel on the letter that precedes the ya is a kasra, And if you have a wow in the middle of the sentence, the short vowel preceding the wow is a dhamma. So that is a way of helping you read when you have unvocalized the texts. There are some rules that are embedded in the language that as you learn more, you will identify them. There are certain short vowels that go with certain tenses, conjugating tenses in the present and in the past, with the different pronouns. As you learn more different conjugation, these vowels, they are constant. They do not change. So it will become easier. Now we are at a stage of identifying what is the function of this noun? And even before that, what is this noun? Is it an ism, a noun? Is it a sifa, an adjective? Or is it a fi'l, a verb? أو if it is a فعل في أي زمن في أي زمن meaning in which tense is it في أي زمن. So this is the ضمة. So do do رو رو زو زو كاتب كاتب كتب كا 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 كا. And this is the fatha. So we have a a a a da da ra ra za za. And this is the u and long and short vowels. So here we go. And here is the kasra. So there is the di di ri ri zi zi. So my name would be ri. It starts with this one because the second letter in my name is a ya. So the ra in my name has a kasra because it is followed by a long ya. So ri and the ya is vocalized as a long vowel in that case because I have the ra, which is a consonant, and a ha, not a ha. A lot of you think that my name has a ha. It doesn't have a ha. It has a ha. So ri ham ham ham. So do you think the alif in my name, is it long or is it short? Ri ham. It is long. Otherwise it would have been ri ham. And it is not Reham, it's Reham. Now take a moment and think about your own name. Do you have long or short vowels in your names? These were some exercises that we did to tell the difference between long and short vowels. I'd be happy to share with you some if you haven't had the opportunity to do any of these exercises in any of the books, if you've studied with another instructor beforehand. So here, let us see the long and short vowels. So, حي حي ح حي المدينة العتيقة حي المدينة العتيقة حي المدينة العتيقة المدينة العتيقة. I pronounce this as because this is a noun. However, this is an adjective. It is not idafa. This is not a noun for it to be idafa. This is an adjective. Al-atiqa is a very formal word that means old. Al-atiqa. Atiqa is when you have like aged cheddar cheese or aged wine or something like that. So al-atiqa. So aged would be ma'attaq, and it comes from atiq, which is ancient or very old. So it's not old, it is a specific use and it is a very formal word. For old, for people, we would use the expression it sits better when it sounds better when you say like old in age. It's just more decent. You don't call people old. You say like olden years, or they have more years. So you would say kabir, which is big, في السن أو كبير في العمر. سن and عمر are two words that mean age. So this is the appropriate way of saying, old for people. Otherwise, if you are describing an item, then the more common word, like the uh, casual formal diluted version of this word would be قديم. جديد is new and قديم is old for an item like كتاب. كتاب قديم. المدينة العتيقة. نهج سيدي بالخيرية. نهج سيدي بالخيرية. So here I have CD. Otherwise, if I didn't have the ya and there was only a kasra, it would be CD, not CD. And see here, the long vowel, sin and dal, consonant, consonant, vowel. CD, CD. Kha and kha, yeah, in the middle. E. خيرية. 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 Yeah. Okay. And here, المجمع التونسي للعلوم والآداب والفنون. بيت الحكمة. المجمع التونسي. المجمع التونسي. So I am reading it in different ways right now to accommodate the dialect and the formal. The spelling will be the same. للعلوم والآداب والفنون بيت الحكمة. So I read it one time in a dialect, I read it one time in formal, and you'll notice that the difference is very subtle, except for this word right here, which is going to be التونسي. If I am going to vocalize it in the formal Arabic, it will have a shadda, something called nisba adjective that we will go over in our review, but you already must have heard that name before from me last quarter, التونسي, and this is the jim would be in some dialects vocalized as a gim instead of a jim. So if I were to read it in Egyptian, for example, it will be المجمع التونسي, not المجمع أو المجمع التونسي. Okay? And then these are the vocabulary. So we have adib, which again, showing up, these are the pronouns. Ayman is a name for a man, and Sami is a name for a man. We have shukran and afwan, and these are also examples of when the final tanween on the letters are never dropped. Shukran, afwan. No matter what the dialect is, shukran will always have the nonation, the tanween on it, and afwan is you are welcome. And also it is used when if you like, maybe, I don't know, you're walking and you hit somebody by mistake, you say, oh, excuse me, or you want to, they are blocking your way and you want them to move a little bit or, bypass them. So you say, afwan. Sometimes people also in conversational Arabic, they would say, it would be like equivalent to pardon my French when they want to say like a word that is considered in our culture, which is overly sensitive. But like you just need to use something offensive because you're just fed up. So you would say, عفوا أو لا مؤاخذة. لا مؤاخذة um, is if you would give me pardon, or if you would allow it, or so these are different usages of عفوا. But no matter how you use it, the nonation here is not an option. You have to have it. It is never dropped. It has a grammatical function, and it is as well used in the dialect. It is not one of the tanween defining an indefinite pronoun to replace a and an in English for indefinite nouns. Here it is different, and it is always used like this. لا. لا is the negative answer to yes or no questions. لا would be a way of saying no, and usually people, when they talk, they usually follow it in clusters, so it ends up being la 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 la. It's not only one la, like la 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 la, the equivalent of it when pigs fly, or like when you're horrified at something, somebody like offended you, or maybe they overcrossed your boundaries, or you feel that like they went too far, so it's like la 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 la, like, oh hey, stop, wait a minute, la 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 la, like, what is it that you're saying? Ada is what is this in the Egyptian dialect. La 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 la. So la, and then in the dialect it would be in some dialect it would be la, sometimes it would be la, 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 لا 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 لا. And then we have Manal. Manal is a name for a female, and most of these names have a meaning, but I don't think it is the proper place for us to discuss it when we are doing the review. Maybe there will be like some videos in the future that we will go over the patterns and the origins of names and their meanings. Nazar. Nazar is a man's name, and there is a poet's name, Nadar Qabbani, is rest in peace, one of our renowned Arab poets, and I encourage you to look his poems up. They have been translated to several languages, and you will enjoy them. Some of his songs have also been converted to songs. There is نعم, 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 نعم. And نعم is the formal word for yes. And at the same time, you see here the use of the short vowel. So نعم, نعم, نعم. If it had a long alif, it would be نعم, نعم, نعم. So these are, I replace the short vowels with long vowels. Of course, it will be spelled differently. Not only that, it is spelled differently. The meaning will change, because na'am is ostriches in Arabic. So it's a bird, and in the plural as well. This is na'am, na'am. In the dialect, some dialects would use aywa. So the Egyptian one, we would use aywa. In the Levant, they would use a, 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 a. A sounds like the interrogative in the Egyptian dialect, meaning what. So instead of ma or mada, we use a. Fi a, what's up? Fi a, fi a. But you notice the one for the interrogative is a, a, a. The one in the Levant is a, a. I know that probably it's too early for you to tell the difference, But when we discuss the interrogatives, it will be clearer. For now, focus on نعم being formal yes, and أيوة, 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 أيوة being the Egyptian one, and then A being the Shami. A, like the letter A. A. Hala, Hala is a name for a female, and then هو, and هي. So هو, هو, here, here. This is the pronunciation in formal. In the Egyptian, it would be هو and هي. In the Shami, is going to be هو هي. هو هي. هو هي. هو هي. So potato, tomato. So I don't want you to ever be intimidated by those, I don't know, rumors that tell you that former Arabic has nothing to do with the dialect, and like it is not useful for you to learn. And I'll end this here so that we can have each unit on a separate video.